with a 5th round stoppage, 3 knockdowns, could have been 4 knockdowns, really. It's hard to ask a guy, well, what could you do better? But what did you learn from that fight? Where do you see improvement if this fight comes again?
Without giving too much away, I think I'll be more, more up for it. I was up for it, but just more believing in myself, more control, more speed, more everything. And AJ as well, he'll bring it as well. He'll bring it, he'll come to win like he did last time. But I just feel like it's my time, and as a world champion, and just have the IBF belt and all of that is just, it's just icing on the cake. So I need to keep this run going.
There was a moment in the fight that stood out to me where you had Joshua in trouble, but there was a back and forth, and then you looked out of the ring to your father, which you do frequently. But this time, instead of shouting instructions, he said, "Don't look at me, go finish the job."
Yeah. Where was that? In the corner? Or,
yeah. Was that a moment? Maybe it felt like in that moment, like if in my mind I said, now if Dubois goes out and finishes the job, this is his real becoming an independent man moment. Like you're grasping that championship by both hands. What did that feel like to you when your father was no longer giving advice, but telling you to go do it?
Yeah. Wow. That was, it's just sometimes it doesn't even feel real when I'm in the ring. It's like a movie and it's just playing out, and then just got to go with it. And, Dad said, go and finish the job. I got, okay then.
Yeah. Now, like any good movie script, there was a big moment of crisis where we didn't know what would happen. It looked like he had Joshua reeling, like, one more punch would finish him. And then, like the champion he is, like, anybody that has ascended to what Joshua has been able to accomplish, he ain't just going to give it up. He had what he liked to call rolled the dice. And he landed a big right hand. It wobbled you. In that moment, what was going through your mind?
No one said that doing it was going to be easy. I had to slay the king. So I had to come through whatever fire he was bringing at me. It got really, in that moment, it was just focus then. Just focus in that moment. I like it. I love those sort of matchups where we're just letting our hands go. It's just back and forth and roll the dice and that, gunslinging. And that was really exciting for me, to be honest.
Now, in the build-up, most analysts said, well, Joshua's got the big right hand. If he hits Dubois with it, Dubois is finished. But Dubois comes forward and he has, punching power. So that's what Joshua has to stay away from. But nobody was given really any credence to the intelligence that you have in the ring. They just see you as a come-forward, brawling fighter. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but in that moment of truth, when you finally stopped Joshua, knocked him down for the final count, it wasn't just brawn. To me, it reminded me of when I saw Marquez drop Pacquiao for the last time in the 4th fight. It was a punch that he trained on. It wasn't a lucky shot. It wasn't just aggression. He had been setting that shot up and training for that punch. When you caught Joshua in between punches before he could get the uppercut off, I've been in camp with you. I seen Don training for that punch. I know that was, that right hand.
Middle. Yeah, that was the plan. Early on in camp, my dad was saying they'll be saying they're gonna knock you out with the right hand, because after my fight with Hergovich, everyone was saying, oh, he's open for the right hand, he's gonna get caught. So let's catch him with the right when he's coming for it. And it worked out just the way he said it. My dad said that early on in camp, way before I even properly started the camp. So yeah, it's these moments like that, little things like that make a big difference. And and I'm world champion today, so it all paid off.
Now, you've been through a series of trainers in your career. A lot of analysts would say, well, that is a sign of trouble, no stability. Does Dubois have the ability to stick with somebody, stick with a game plan, and be successful? You found, I think, the right combination with your father. And then I think he's been most active with Don Charles as opposed to your other trainers. Do you
Yeah.
feel like this team that you have now is the ideal team for you? Like you found the home that you need to continue to
Yeah,
progress?
definitely feel at home. I feel definitely feel at home, feel at peace. Don's been a great trainer, been old school, you know, real old school disciplinarian type trainer. And he doesn't cut any corners in the gym. And, you know, every time, everything my dad says, he'll actually listen to it and, you know, take it on board and think about it before he responds or anything. So that's what's really made a big difference. And it's just a winning team, and you know, Kieran and all the other people that has helped. Yeah, so it's big props to Don for sticking with it. You know, coming through all the battles he's already had.
And down that line, because I've seen how close you guys are and how hard everybody works in camp. But in the post fight press conference, you know, to their credit, they let you sit up there alone and talk about the fight and have your moment. And you thanked your father, but nobody else in camp. So there was a lot of conversation in the comments and from fans reacting to that, thinking that there's something to that. Just to clear that up.
Nothing. There's nothing to that. I thank them all. The whole team knows how I feel about them. You know, it's been a whole strong, hard effort every day. I didn't want to be in the gym, but I hated it, and I still did it. That's how I feel sometimes. But you know, everyone that's around me in the gym and pushing me forward in that moment is definitely all part of it. They're all part of the celebration. We had a party before we fought, and after we fought, we had another party. So it's so good.
Well, another thing that I would be remiss if I didn't mention was you had a party a bit in your mind on the way to the ring. And what I mean by that is a lot of people noticed your walk-in music. You know what I mean? Talk to me about how you selected that song and why that was ringing in your ears when you were walking to the ring.
You know, I love all those old school tracks. You know, all the reggae and the R&B, the 90s R&B, the Soul Boys. You know, my dad grew up in that era, so he selected the songs, and they were just perfect. They matched just right. Daniel and the Lions then was the final one to finish it off.
Where when people heard your music and heard Josh's music, they're like, you know, it might be Dubois' night. He got the right track.
We battered him in that front.
Now, the Dubois Joshua rematch is obviously a big fight, but you do have some unsettled business. Or you tell me if it's settled or not. There's the Joe Joyce rematch. It's a potential. Obviously, Joe Joyce isn't coming off a win, but it's still an L on your record that you might want to avenge. And then, of course, the almost undisputed heavyweight champion, being Alexander Usyk, in a battle on Riyadh season this coming December.
Yeah.
Is it important to you to avenge those losses? And if Usyk is able to come through in December, would you not feel that that's the more substantial fight for you, undisputed right away, or would you still take Joshua first?
I would take Joshua first. Just, because that was a massive fight, and these are the nights that I live for, that get me up for a fight. And, you know, just the whole atmosphere, just the whole set in London Derby and all of that. So, yeah, but with Usyk, it's definitely unfinished business. And next time I fight him, I'll be a total different outcome. I'll, you know, go right through him. You know, I feel I'm just changing and evolving as a human being and as a fighter. So every fight that I took, every L that I took on the way up to this point, I've improved massively from, you know, the team and the trainers and even the stuff we're doing in the gym. It's just a complete game changer for me now. And I just feel, for me personally, I want AJ first. If he wants it, I want it too.